Hello, my dear friends. I decided to do our story time tonight outside because it is such a beautiful day. I was able to get out and hike today, and I hope that maybe you have too. It really helps remind us of the hope of springtime, and it just does the soul good to get out. So I hope you have been able to enjoy it. I'm sitting in my backyard. I'm very blessed to have this space to look at from my back deck. And I'm going to try this. I don't know, hopefully the lighting will work. So this story is called The Old Turtle. And it is by Douglas Wood. This is a beautiful story and beautifully illustrated. Watercolor by Chin Ki Chi. I might have just messed up your name, Chin. I hope I did not, but okay. Once, long, long ago, yet somehow not so very long, when all the animals and rocks and all the beings of the world could speak, and they could understand each other. Look at all those different animals. And the stories says that they could understand each other. And there began an argument. It began softly at first, quiet at the first breeze that whispered, "He is a wind who is never still." Quiet as the stone that answered, "He is a great rock that never moves." Gentle as the mountain that rumbled, "God is a snowy peak high above the clouds." And the fish in the ocean. So can you see the fish in the ocean? There you can. And the fish in the ocean, they answered, "God is a swimmer in the dark blue depths of the sea." So the animals are arguing about who God is. "No," said the star, "God is twinkling and a shiny far, far away." "No," replied the ant, "God is a sound and a smell and a feeling who is very, very close." "God," said the antelope, "is a runner, swift and free, who loves to leap and race with the wind." Hi, friends, you are joining. Mary Beth and Jan and Mom, I see you. Well, I don't see you. I see your note. So the animals keep saying who God is. "She is a great tree," murmured the willow, "a part of the world always growing and always giving." "You are wrong," argued the island. "God is separate and apart. God is like the shining star far above all things," said the blue sky. "No, he is a river who flows through the very heart of things," thundered the waterfall. "She is a hunter," roared the lion. "God is gentle," chirped the robin. "He is powerful," growled the bear. And the argument grew louder and louder and louder. "Stop!" A new voice spoke. It rumbled loudly like thunder, and it whispered softly like butterfly sneezes. Have you ever thought about a butterfly sneezing? That's pretty cool. The voice seemed to come from, it seemed to come from Old Turtle. Now, Old Turtle hardly ever said anything, and certainly never argued about things like God. But now, Old Turtle began to speak. God is indeed deep, she said to the fish in the sea, and much higher than high, she told the mountains. He is swift and free as the wind, and still and solid as a rock, she said to the breezes and the stones. She is the life of the world, Turtle said to the willow, always close by, yet beyond the farthest twinkling light, she told the ant and the star. God is gentle and powerful, above all things and within all things. God is all that we dream of and all that we seek, said Old Turtle. All that we come from and all that we can find. God is. You see, Old Turtle? That's where he said all that from. And all the animals are listening. That reminds me of the Lion King. Old Turtle had never said so much before. All the beings of the world were surprised and became very quiet. But Old Turtle had one more thing to say. There will soon be a new family of beings in the world, she said, and they will be strange and wonderful. They will be reminders of all that God is. They will come in many colors and shapes with different faces and different ways of speaking. Their thoughts will soar to the stars, but their feet will walk the earth. They will possess many powers. They will be strong, yet tender. A message of God, a message of love from God to the earth, and a prayer from the earth back to God. And the people came. There's all the people coming. But the people forgot. They forgot that they were a message of love and a prayer from the earth. And they began to argue about who knew God and who did not, and where God was and was not, and whether God was or was not. And often the people misused their powers and hurt one another. Hi, Sammy, this is my friend Patty's dog. Or killed one another. We know that would make God sad, wouldn't we? Very sad. And they hurt the earth until finally even the forest began to die. And see, there's a picture of the forest and the fish dying. It's a sad part in their story, isn't it? And the rivers and the oceans and the plants and the animals and the earth itself, because the people could not remember who they were or where God was, until one day there came a voice like the growling of thunder, but as soft as butterfly sneezes. Please stop. The voice seemed to come from the mountain who was rumbling. Sometimes I see God swimming in the dark blue depths of the sea. And from the ocean whose side, he is often among the snow-capped peaks reflecting the sun. From the stone who was, I sometimes feel her breath as she blows by. And from the breeze who whispered, I feel his still presence as I dance among the rocks. And the stars said, God is very close. And the islands said, his love touches everything. And after a long, lonesome and scary time, the people listened and began to hear and to see God in one another. And in the beauty of the earth. And the old turtle smiled. And so did God. Well, my friends, that is the end of the old turtle for tonight. And I hope you talk with your parents about that story. I hope you imagine the things that make God smile. And I love you and I miss you guys. I hope that you're doing well, and we will really celebrate when we get to have church again and get to be back together. I'm so glad you found us, Michelle. Hey, Molly. How are you? Hey, Kaya, and all my friends who are looking. Kaya says, God is God. Yes. Yes, God is God, and God is good, and God is seeing us through this time. And I'm sure that there are things that you probably are experiencing that are hard about this time of being home, but I hope you're finding some really good things too. Be sure to remember, my mom has taught me recently, name some things you're thankful for at the end of every day, because there's so much to be thankful for. And yes, we're praying for our dear friend in our church, Sarah Smith, tomorrow is having surgery. Jan is reminding us. Thank you, Jan. So God's blessings to all of you, and I love you, and I will see you again Sunday morning. We'll have prayers and a sermon posted, and Monday I'll be back for story time. Good night.